the last session, we learned about placing an order on Magento frontend. In this session, we are going to learn about the complete order life cycle in Magento. So now, we have successfully placed an order as a customer on this website, and now we know the experience of placing an order. So after placing an order, Magento sends in an email on the registered email ID, which will be the email ID which we entered during the checkout process, with the product details and the price information. You can check the email template after receiving that email, and if you are not satisfied that email template, you can change the default email template in Magento. Now I already taught you how to change the email templates in Magento in one of the previous videos, so you can refer to that and change the email template as per requirement. Now we are going to view the order process in terms of Magento backend. In Magento backend, an order has to go a list of processes like invoice generation, shipping, credit memos, etc. And we are going to check each stage one by one. Now if you go to the Magento dashboard, I will just refresh my Magento dashboard. And you can see on the Magento dashboard that you can see the last 5 orders, and our order has been updated here with the grand total items and the customer name. Now to know in more detail about this order, if you go to sales and there is a tab called orders in here, so I will just click on order. Now this grid will show all the detailed information about the product like the order ID, the time when it was purchased, bill to name, ship to name, the base grand total and grand total, and it will also show status. Now I just want to inform you that whenever a new order comes in the Magento admin, the status of it will always be pending, and based on what you do with it like ship it or invoice it, the status is going to change. So this is how you can keep the track of status of all your orders, and you can also know what has been invoiced, what has been shipped, etc. Now similarly we have some other menus in sales as well, like invoices, shipments, etc. Now let's go to sales invoices. You will notice there is nothing in here, and the same should be with shipments. Now both these grids are empty because the order has not been invoiced or shipped yet, and it's not going to show up in any of these two grids until we change the status of the order. So we'll go back to sales orders. Now we are back. We are again back on our sales orders grid, and you can see there is one button. And before moving into this order, we will see that I want you to know that there is one more option available here called create new order. And creating orders through front end is not the only option. You can also create a new order from the Magento backend. So I'm going to click on create a new order, and it will show me a list of customer. Right now there is only one customer registered, which is myself when I place the order. However, this grid will include all the customers available in Magento. So it will even show me an option to create a new customer, but I'm not going to go into that, and I'm just going to select the existing customer, and it will take me to a new form where I can add in or modify all the details. So if I want to add any new products, I will click on add a product, and it will show me a list of all the products. So in the new order, I want to add a classic polo t-shirt, and so it will also show me the custom options. I'm not going to go for custom option this time, and I'm going to select the quantity to be 2 and click OK, and I'm going to go for a laptop, which will be 1. So the products have been added, and now I will go to the billing address and shipping address. Now my billing address and shipping address will already be pre-filled as I am a registered customer now, so I don't have to add anything. If you need to modify anything, you can just change the things required and click on save in address book to save the new address. So right now the subtotal and grand total is 0, so I am going to select a shipping method as well. So to get the shipping method, I'm going to click on get shipping method and rates, and it shows sorry, no quotes are available at this time. So we are missing something. So I'll go back to the top, and we have selected the products, but we haven't added the products to the order. So I will click on add selected products to order, and the product should be visible in this grid. So the quantity of this product is not available, and so I will configure it again, or I will just remove this product. And I will click on add update item and quantities. So now we are again buying a classic polo t-shirt, but this time the quantity will be double. And we can also apply a coupon code. Now the email address will already be pre-filled, and the group will also be pre-filled, and now the payment method will also be displayed. So we will select check money order again, and we will select on get shipping methods and rates. Now all the shipping methods will be displayed. Now last time we selected a free store pickup, so this time we are going to select next day air early, and I'm going to click submit order. But before submitting the order, I want to show you something. Notice the left panel in this section. So this panel records all the customers' current activities. Like it will show the shopping cart items which I already have in cart on the front end. It will also show my wish list. It will show my last order items, and it will also show the items which I have added into the comparison list, and it will also show recently viewed products. So as we have not done any activity after registering or after buying the first product, it is only showing last order items. However, this menu is really useful to know about the customer's recent activity. So now I will click on submit order, and my order will be created. Now you can see the order has been created. Now before moving further, I will go again to the sales orders grid, and now we have two orders available, and the status of both the order is pending. Now what happens when a customer wants to cancel his order, or someone submits a request to you to cancel his order? Now there are two ways of doing it. The first way is you can go to the, suppose I want to cancel this order, so I can go into this order and click on cancel, and if I select OK, the order will be cancelled. And another way of doing is from the grid itself. I will just select this order here, and in the option I will select cancel and click on submit. So now the first order which we placed has been cancelled, and you can see the status has been changed to cancel. If you want to see only orders whose status is pending, now right now we are having only 2 orders, but when your store gets old, you will have thousands of orders available in this grid. Now if you want to select the orders whose status is pending, you can just click on this status, click on pending, press enter. So now only orders whose status is pending will be visible. Now if you want to see all the orders again, you can just click on reset, or you can just remove this. You can click on reset, or you can reset the status and press enter again. So now all the orders are visible again. Now I want to reorder my orders in such a way that I want to see all the cancelled orders together at the top. So how to do that? I will just click on status here on the top, and it will rearrange orders in such a way that all the cancelled orders will be visible on top. In the same way, you can sort the orders according to any of the available options or names. By default, this grid will always have the order sorted according to the order number. In this manner, all the recent orders, irrespective of their status, will always be displayed in the top. Now we know in detail how to manage our orders, and we are ready to take it to the next step. So now we have an order ready to go and we want to change the status as invoiced and create an invoice for this order. So by invoicing the order, we want to give a go to the people that work on our store that we have received the payment, and now you can move to the next step by shipping the order. And we will also send and an email will be also be automatically sent to the customer that your order has been invoiced, and the customer will also receive an invoice copy within the email. Now to do that, we will click on this order. Now this page will have all the details of the order, like the items order, the product information, how it was shipped, and the shipping address as well as the billing address, and also from where it has been purchased from. So it has been purchased from our main website, and the current status is pending. Now if I go to invoices tab currently, you can see that it is empty. Similarly, nothing will be present in credit memos, shipments, transactions. Only in comments history there will be a comment called pending and customer is not still notified. This will turn into customer notified once the customer has received emails. So now we'll go again back to the information, and after checking if everything looks good, we will click on invoice. So after clicking on invoice, we will get a new invoice for the order. A new ID will be generated. So after clicking on the invoice, we will have a new panel where all the invoice details will be available. You can also change the quantity to invoice. Now Magento provides this functionality because you are also allowed to generate partial invoices. For example, there are two products and the subtotal is 802. So you can create two separate invoices for each of the product. You just need to change the quantity. So right now I'm going to create. So for example, if I change the quantity and click on update quantity, only invoice of 401, which will be the first order, will be created. However, the grand total will be more and the rest of amount will still be shown as pending. So right now I'm not making things too complex and I will invoice the complete order. So I will again click on update quantity, and you can see the things are back as normal. We can even add invoice comments in the tab if you want to add an invoice comments, and you can see you can also append this comment to customer by clicking on email a copy of invoice to the customer. However, this will be unchecked by default. So after checking once more that everything is correct, you can click on submit invoice. And this will again take me to the order page, but it will show me the invoice has been created. So now if I go to the invoice, you can see that a new invoice has been created. It will also generate an invoice ID. Now again, just for a note that invoice ID and order ID are two different things. A same order can have different invoice ID, a different order ID, as well as a different shipment and credit memo ID. And in this grid we can see that invoice ID, that bill to name, invoice date, and the status is paid. So this means that the customer has paid and we have received the payment. So now if we click on here, this will again bring us to the page which we saw. The only difference will be now it will not allow us to make any changes. Only thing we can do is we can add in additional comment and notify the customer by an email. And you can send your email by clicking on send an email button, but it already has the notification that the invoice email was sent, so there is no point in sending it again. And if you click on print, it will save a PDF of your invoice. If I open this invoice, you can see that this is the default invoice that Magento generates. Which will have all the product information, the payment information, and the price information. Mostly it will hold all the important information related to the order and invoice, like the subtotal, tax, shipping and handling, to whom it was invoiced, the invoice ID as well as the order ID. So now we know the process of how to create an invoices for an order. So now as we have created an invoice for this order, if you go to sales orders grid, you can see that the status has been changed and it has been set to processing. And the same way, if you go to sales invoices directly, you will find that you have an invoice created with a status paid. Now the next step after invoicing an order is shipping. So now if I go to sales order grid and I click on this processing order, a few options available here will be send email, credit memo, hold, ship and reorder. You may notice that invoice, the button invoice is no longer available as it has already been invoiced. Now if you click on reorder, it will create a duplicate order with the same details. You can hold the order, create a credit memo, which we are going to see. You can send another email, and what we are going to do is ship the order. So if I click on ship, similar to the payment, similar to generating an invoice, it will take me to a new page with all the shipment details. Now this page is very similar to the invoice page, like we have to verify all the details mentioned, and it has a new tab called shipping information. So you can add a tracking number if you are shipping with some reputed shipping services and they provide a shipping and they provide a tracking number. So you can add in any number, and you can obviously delete that if you don't want it to. And similar to the partial invoicing, it also allows us partial shipping. So you can use this if your store doesn't has the required quantity available. So if your store has only one t-shirt available currently, you can ship one of the t-shirt currently, and you can ship one t-shirt after it is available and is in stock. So similar to the invoice comments, you can add in shipping comments, and you can send in a copy, and you can send in an email copy to customer, and you can also create a shipment label. The copy of email shipment will also have a tracking number if you have created one here. And obviously, as I mentioned, you can modify any email which will be sent from the transactional emails, and you can always check the previous video in which I taught how to modify Magento's emails. So here I will click on submit shipment, and it will show a notification that the shipment has been created with all the details. So now you can see the complete life cycle of an order here, like it was pending at this time, the invoice was created, and now it has been set to complete. Now if I again go to sales order grid, you can see the order has been complete. It has been invoiced as well as it has been shipped, and customer is going to receive this order soon. So this is all you need to do to complete an order. And if you now go to sales and shipments, you will find that one order has been shipped, and it has the ship to name and the time when it was shipped, along with the shipment ID as well as the order ID. And it also shows the quantity, and you can see the shipment details from here. And that's all. Now you know the complete process of how to create an order, to invoice it as well as ship it. Now one more thing which I want you to know is credit memos. So till now we don't have any credit memos. What are credit memos actually? Credit memos, in simple words I can say, credit memos are reverse of invoices. Suppose a customer generates a cancellation request after the order has been shipped, after you have received the payment or the order has been shipped. Then you will have to generate a credit memo. So to generate a credit memo, just go to sales, orders, and now if you go to this order which status is complete, now only few options will be available like reorder. I already told you what reorder will do. And if I click on credit memo, it will show me all the available product options, and if I scroll down, it will show me the refund menu. Now I can modify the refund shipping amount, I can modify the adjustment refund adjustment fee. Now notice the tax is non-editable, so the tax taken will not be refunded as it has nothing to do with the product price. So after editing this form as per your requirements, you can click on refund offline and a new credit memo will be created. This thing is very similar to invoicing of a product. You can obviously charge your customer an adjustment fee or a cancellation fee, which can be a fixed amount or which can be a modified amount, and a new invoice which shows the refunded amount will be created, which will be seen or which can be seen if you go to credit memos. Right now we are not generating any credit memos. For test purposes, I want you to try generating credit memo on your own and see if you find any problems. So that will be all in the process of generating an order in Magento backend as well as front end. Now you know the complete life cycle in Magento. In the next session, we are going to learn how to manage customer and customer groups.